I've got pocket kings and my opponent lead jams his stack all in after the dealer puts out a nasty river card. Let's talk through this spot. Blinds are 400, 800. I'm in the 3K 6 max WSOP bracelet event with pocket kings in the low jack and a 50K stack. I raise to 2000. Big blind with the 30K stack calls. Flop is 8 of spades, 9 of diamonds, 4 of spades. I bet 3,500 into about 5,200. Now I'm using a big C-bet sizing here because this is a dynamic board that hits the big blinds range. And they're gonna have a lot of pairs here and also just gut shots or backdoor hands that I want to charge and also get some protection out of. My opponent calls, the turn is the 2 of hearts. Now, when the big blind check calls against you in a spot where there's a lot of flop draws and everything bricks on the turn, this is a good spot to use a nice overbet. And you could overbet with your hands that need a lot of protection, like ace 9, king 9, pocket 10s through kings, even hands like pocket 3s or ace 4, which might already be the best hand, but really benefit by forcing hands like 7 6, 10 jack, queen 10, and even some bad flush draws out of the pot. That said, my opponent is a little bit shallow here, so I'm not quite going to use an overbet, but anything like 2/3 a pot to even pot size is good here. So I decided to bet 8,500 into 12.2K. I was a little bit afraid that this opponent might overfold an 8 or even some 4s, so I didn't want to go too big. He calls. River is the 9 of clubs, not a great card. He shoves all in 16K into about 30K pot. Now, of course, this river card is quite nasty, but there's no way I'm folding here. And the thing that's important here is even though we know we're most likely behind and going to lose if we call here, we're still getting an amazing price. So the way you calculate this is you see how much is it to call, 16,000, and how much the final pot is going to be after you call, and that's about 61,000. Now, once you divide those two numbers together, you get 26%. That's how much equity you need to break even. In other words, that's a percentage of the time you want to feel like you're going to win with this hand to break even. So now that I got that number, 26%, if I feel like my hand is going to be good more than that, then this is a profitable call. With pocket kings here, I expect to win the pot around 30 to 40% of the time, depending on how often my opponent is bluffing. So this is the clear call for me. He's going to show up with hands like 10 jack, maybe 7 6, and some missed flush draws. I call, he has jack 9 of hearts. I lose the pot, but I'm not sweating it because I know this is a profitable call on the long run. Focus on the process, not short-term results. So next time you're in a river spot like this where you know you're most likely beat, figure out what percentage of the time you need to be good. Okay, 26%. Now ask yourself, if you're in this spot 100 times and called every single one of them, do you think you'd win the pot at least 26 or more of those times? If so, call and don't worry about the short-term results.